Where we stopped yesterday's session. Yesterday, what we discussed. Simple. To develop this web page, which topics you need to learn. Okay, that is like either Angular topics or React topics. It's not a matter for us. If you want to develop this kind of web application, now this course is it's like Angular. So that okay, just focus on Angular. So my requirement is like just I want to create a website. This kind of website I want to create. For that particular okay, requirement, which topics you have to learn in Angular? Which topics you have to learn in Angular? That one we discussed, right? So what kind of just let me okay, ask some questions. Okay. Now, for example, okay, this is header and this one also header. Okay, this is like a top header. You can say this is like a okay, normal header. So this header is common for each and every page. Then the type, can we create one header component? There has one concept is there in Angular, which concept that is components concept or not. Using that components concept, we can create one header component or we can create one top header component or you can create like one footer component like this. Any number of components you can create. Okay, you can use that one. Now, just think, don't think more. Okay, what is component? General words, tell me, anyone? Come on, general words. In general words, what is component? See, it is a
This
kind of,
is
it's a template, right? Component is a kind of template which is used to create a template that can be reusable or not. Yes, no? Okay, the next one. Okay, you know the components concept so that you can create header component, this one, and menu component. This is the home component, like this, any number of components you can create. Now, observe here. If I click on the about, course, schedule, one page to another page navigating, right? Okay, which concept you have to learn? See, this is not only for Angular. If this application is like React component you have to create. If it is like a okay, one page to another page navigation is there, right? So which concept? That is like a routing concept. Okay, if your application is like an Angular, you have to learn like an Angular routing related. If your application is like React routing related component, okay, React routing related functionality, how to handle, you have to learn. If it is like Vue.js related, you have to learn. One programming language, if you learn properly, remaining all no need to join the batches and everything. Okay, just you have to okay check that particular syntax, make it work. The requirement not change, the syntax, the way of okay approaching the particular requirement to achieve that one. Okay, that syntax, react syntax, angular syntax, vue.js syntax is there. To understand any kind of syntax means angular, react or vue or something else, these all are like a libraries they developed on top of what, on top of javascript only, right? They developed all these libraries on top of JavaScript only or not. That's the reason, if you know JavaScript, if you know JavaScript, you can understand any kind of syntax, JS related. You can understand any kind of syntax, JavaScript related. JavaScript on top of JavaScript, Angular is there. Yes, you can easily understand the Angular syntax. The next one is like React. You can easily understand Vue.js. You can easily understand when if you know JavaScript topics very well. Well, because okay, they written Angular people also written the code in JavaScript only. React people also written the code in JavaScript only. Vue or some other libraries, those people also written the code in JavaScript only. So that JavaScript is very important. And one more thing is like if you go for any interview, okay, already working people, if anybody is there, okay, if you go for any UI related front end developer role, if you face any interview, okay, HTML they may ask, they may not ask, I don't know. Okay, maximum 5 minutes they are going to spend. CSS maybe 5 minutes they are going to spend. Next, they are going to ask like JavaScript minimum, okay, minimum 30 minutes they are going to ask it. Minimum 30 minutes. minimum 30 minutes they are going to ask. Okay, the programs and everything you are going to write in JavaScript only or not. Okay, after that they are going to ask like, hey, your project is on Angular or React or Vue.js. Okay, if your project is on Angular, my Angular related questions they are going to ask. If it is like project is on React related, okay, you are like expert in UI, all the libraries, you know Angular, you know React, you know Vue.js, then the time they are going to ask based on their requirement. My project is like an Angular, I'm recruiting you as like an Angular developer, I'm going to ask the questions on Angular only. But here the interviewer come to this level when, you know, if he's satisfied with your JavaScript knowledge, then only the interviewer come to the next level. They show some interest to ask the questions in Angular React. When, oh, this guy is like having good knowledge in JavaScript, okay, we can proceed with the next level. You don't know anything, okay, you don't have that much knowledge in JavaScript, then that time they may not go to the next level also. Next level also, that the reason JavaScript is very very important. Our course may be Angular only, but you should have to learn like JavaScript, all the topics, minimum basic topics you have to learn. Okay, so routing related concept I want to learn. Okay, the next one is like what? Okay, first time load, I don't want to load all the pages. Then that time I want to implement the lazy loading. Now, whenever you click on the schedule, this schedule, course schedules, okay, it is like not static. These are keep on changing, right? So this data is coming from database. This data we already stored in the database, so that we have to take the data from the database. Now tell me, any application which is running inside the browser, is that application having the capability to communicate with the database directly? Is that application having the capability? Is that application having the future to communicate with that particular, okay, DB, any DB? Do we have that future? No. Any application which is running inside the browser, which application is running inside the browser? What kind of applications it is going to run? Web applications, right? In the web application, client side applications are going to run. Whenever the application is running, whenever the application is running in the browser, this person is not having the future to communicate with the DB. So that what you have to do? This guy is not having the future, then what you have to do? This data I need it from the database. Then the time some other person help is required or not? Who is that guy? That some other person help is required, that is like a middleware. Okay, we can say like a backend technology. We can say like a backend technology, so that any one of the backend technology you can use to communicate with your database to perform some operations. So many backend technologies are like Java is there, .NET is there, PHP is there, Python is there, Salesforce is there, Node.js is there. Like this, multiple backend technologies are there. Any one of the technology can use it, but as part of our course we are going to discuss like Node.js. We are going to discuss like Node.js. So we are going to discuss something about MongoDB also. MongoDB also. Now, if you have a knowledge on Node.js and MongoDB, now my Angular application or client application has to communicate with my Node application, right? For that purpose, we have one concept is like, okay, Ajax. HTTP request you have to send and get the response. That time you have to learn this concept. Got my point? The next one is like services, I said. Can anyone tell me why we go for services? One line answer. I'm not asking about the code. In which case you have to go with the services? Any one of you? Hmm? Very simple.
Reusability.
Reusability of what? Two things.
Reusability of the code or
Reusability, two things. One is like, you can see here in the home page. See here, I have a card. I have a card. In the course page also, I have the code. See, observe here. In this page also I have the code. Here also I have the code. So in this case, my template, okay, my template is like same. I'm using in multiple places or not. So template reusability or not, this is like a template reusability. If you want to reuse the templates, then that time you can go with the components. But here I'm asking like services. It is kind of a functionality reusability. It's nothing but what, this data I'm getting from the database. That means I have to connect with the Node.js. This data, okay, schedule, this data I'm getting from the database. That means I have to connect with the Node.js. In the login, okay, whenever I register, now this information I have to keep inside my DB so that I have to connect with my Node.js. See, connect with Node.js or connect with the backend application, that functionality I am using multiple places in my application or not. Yes or no? If you want to reuse the functionality, then the time you can go with what? Services or not. If you want to reuse the functionality, then the time we can go with what? Services. Understood everyone? Reuse the template is different. Reuse the functionality is different. One function I want to use multiple places. One template I want to use multiple places. Got my point? Agreed everyone? Okay. The next one, what about pipes? Very simple. Transform the data, just lowercase letters or there. I want to make it like an uppercase. At this moment, okay, it is not the time to discuss. Okay, just one line answers you can. Okay, the next one, either Angular or React or Vue, any application you can take it. The business requirement, the client given you the business requirement, right? That business requirement we are going to write in JavaScript only or not. My business requirement we are going to write in JavaScript only or not. Okay, let me show you simple thing. Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen? Now see here, it is like an Angular application. In the Angular application, okay, simply see, if you want to click on this particular button, okay, now see, there is a syntax is like this. There has a syntax is like this. It is like an Angular specific syntax. Now, whenever you click on this one, this particular function is going to execute. This particular function is going to execute. In this particular function, if you observe, okay, this particular function, if you observe, where is that? Control Shift to F for shortcut. Yeah, this particular function, if you observe, see this, whatever you written the code, it's a kind of what? Okay, JavaScript related. Okay, open the model, all these things. Okay, inside this one, the business requirement we are going to write, right? This business requirement most of the times like in a core JavaScript. Most of the times it's like a core JavaScript we are going to write. Now, if you come here, if it is like an Angular, the syntax is like this. If it is like a React, the syntax is like something like this. On click, the function, okay, is looks like this. See, this one is for React. Okay, this one is for Angular. But inside this open dialog, inside this function, based on your requirement, you have to open, okay, one model, you want to perform some operation, means their JavaScript code, whatever you want to write, that is common for Angular as well as React also. Got a point? So high level, you can use like an Angular syntax, React syntax. Come to the business requirement, okay, we are going to use like a core JavaScript only or not most of the times. So that, okay, for writing the business requirements, you have to learn like a JavaScript. Okay, TypeScript in Angular we are going to use, okay, and to design the templates, HTML and CSS is required. Now, if you observe here, okay, any component you can take it, there has some HTML code only, right? We have some HTML code. If you want to apply some CSS, we have some CSS or not. So HTML, CSS, to design the templates, frequently we are going to use. If you don't know the basic idea, if you don't have the basic idea of HTML and CSS, okay, that is very difficult again. So minimum idea is required in HTML and CSS. You should be expert in JavaScript. You should be expert in JavaScript. Understood? The next one is like application contains hundreds of components. I want to share some data across all the components, then the time we are going to use like a state management at application level. Okay, the next one is like communication between components, so observables, so RxJS, so signals, so these are all we are going to use it. The next one is like one application has multiple sections, like okay, one student management application or school management application is there. Their student is one module, my admin is one module, the next one is like another, okay, principal, super admin, faculty is like one module, like this. Okay, application contains multiple modules, you can separate it. Once application is done, you have to test your application, okay, by writing the unit tests as well as automation tests also, like Playwright. Once you testing also, your testing also done by you as well as QE also, the next level thing is like you have to deploy your code. Whenever you deploy that particular application is available to this world, anyone can view or visit your application with this particular address. It's nothing but domain name or not, yes or no. So that development is like one thing, deployment is like one thing. If you developed the application, if you not deployed, there is no use. So that, okay, you should learn like a deployment also. Here we are going to discuss like GoDaddy, how to deploy GoDaddy. The next one is like AWS, how to deploy your Angular application. The next one is like Azure, how to deploy your AWS okay, your React okay, React or Angular, whatever it may be, okay, Angular application in this case. The next one is like through Jenkins pipeline. Jenkins pipeline, how we can, these all are like the weekend session we are going to take. In that particular session we are going to discuss like Angular application, how to deploy. Already we taken the session React, now we are going to take the session for Angular. So once all concepts you completed, you are like perfect in all the concepts, that time you can start okay, one simple requirement you can take it. One simple requirement, okay, this is my client application, this is my server application, this is my database, like that. One form you completed like end to end. In future there has 100 forms or there, what's wrong with that? The procedure, the process will never change, right? Then that time, what's wrong with that one? You can create any number of pages or not. So that perfect with one form end to end you have to complete. My client application communicate with my server application, my server application is going to communicate with my database, perform required operation and give the data back, and it is going to display the data in the table or format or something else. So one end-to-end application we are going to discuss. Okay, in this case, okay, here you can come up with your requirement. You can come up with your requirement. Okay, I have requirement, I'm interested to, okay, work on this one, this application. Yes, we are going to help you. We have office also, you can come to the office, you can work. You can work, no problem at all. That address and everything will share with you. If you have any questions, okay, just you can come. Got my point? So this is our overall high level content we are going to discuss in the next 45 days. Okay, then the next thing, I asked you to install Node.js software. Did you? I asked you to install Node.js software. Did you? If you not install, just install the Node.js software. Why? Because that is required for us to create the basic skeleton of your application. So Node.js software you can. The next one is like one editor is required. You can go with any editor. Okay, that is your wish, but I prefer like VS Code, Visual Studio Code editor. Just you can install this VS Code editor also. Both are like open source only. No need to pay any amount. Just you can install it. Okay, from your end in your missions. Okay. Okay. Now let me ask some questions. Okay. Let me ask some questions. Okay, minimum basics required in HTML and CSS and JavaScript also. So that my question is very simple. Okay, we have JavaScript is there, we have TypeScript is there, TypeScript is there, TypeScript is there. Okay, if you use both, Okay, here compare with JavaScript and types. Compare TypeScript and JavaScript. Okay, what are the drawbacks? Okay, here okay, there has a problem is there. Okay, that problem I resolved in the TypeScript. That kind of scenario, can anyone tell? Any one of you? If you worked on TypeScript, JavaScript, both. Okay, if you not work also TypeScript, I will tell you. Okay, but the difference, can anyone? Okay, don't worry. Let's take one
Uh,
simple requirement. Yeah, you want to tell? Go ahead.
Sir, JavaScript is not strictly type. TypeScript is strictly type.
Yeah, that point is correct. Okay, one scenario tell me. Okay, because of no type, okay, I faced this issue in JavaScript. The same issue I resolved, okay, in TypeScript, like that, you can tell me. Okay, that's okay, fine. Now, very simple here. I have a function, fn is there. I have a function, fn is there. Now, I'm going to write something like this, okay? Now here console.log of data.name.length. Okay, na? Data.name.length. Listen carefully. Okay. Now, if I write this code, okay, if I write this code, if I execute this one, if I place this particular code in my console, it is not telling you anything. But at the time of execution, whenever I click on enter, it gives me one error. It gives me one error. First of all, tell me the output of this code snippet. Output of code snippet. Anyone? Just think and tell. What is the output of this code snippet?
Name is not defined.
Name is not defined. No. No.
Data is not an object.
Name is not an object. No.
Oh, data is not the object.
Data is not an object. No. Okay. So I'm going to write the message. You only explain at least.
To find the length of
Cannot read property of undefined reading length.
because of property length only used for string. So
Mhm.
but here we are giving a number.
Number. Okay.
That's why
Oh.
only we are getting
Now
error.
see, by seeing this particular one, in JavaScript, we don't have any type. My data can be anything. Okay, but if I pass like a 10, it is like throwing an exception like this or not. So in JavaScript, there is no type. That's okay, fine. But as a developer, you are the person you have to check, right? If the type is not there, means you not pass any kind of data. Okay, they are expecting how they are using this data. Based on that one, you have to pass it or not. Now tell me, if I'm using data dot, if I use like data dot, okay, if you see this syntax, there is no second thought. My data is which type?
Object.
Object. Okay, 200%. It's like an object only or not. Okay, now you passed what? 10. So it's like a number. In this particular number, name is there or not there? In the number, name is there or
Not,
not there? Not
not
there.
there.
Okay, how we can check? Very simple. Okay, now go to console. Okay, here you can write something like this. My var, okay, number equals to 10. Number dot name there, not there. What is the value? Undefined. Okay, so up to here, my data. See, I'm highlighting. You only tell me the value. What is the value of data? What is the value of data? Come on, fast.
10.
10. Okay, what is the value of data dot name?
Undefined.
Undefined. On undefined, what you are doing?
Length.
Finding
Length. Okay, in JavaScript, can I perform some operation on undefined or null? No, right?
No.
No, right? We should not perform. That the reason cannot read property of undefined. On undefined, we should not. We cannot read a property. Which property we are not? We are not reading. We should not read length property or not. In this case, length property or not. So that I'm getting like the error is like what? Cannot read property of undefined. Reading length. Understood? Come on. Okay, so is anyone alerts you if I run this code, if I place in my JS environment in my browser, is anyone alerts you? See, code is like normal only. There is no red underlines, nothing is there. But why I thought like what? Okay, the code what I written, okay, it's like 100% correct only. But while running this one, see this cannot read property of undefined, reading length or not. So runtime errors is like, okay, exceptions. We should not get an exception. If exception, if you get it, the complete application, if you not handle properly, that complete application is going to break or not. So that you should have to avoid the runtime errors. You should have to avoid the runtime errors. Okay, if you want to avoid this error, before runtime, if anybody alerts me, hey person, okay, data is not like number, data is like an object, pass on object like this. If anybody alerts, then the time I may correct this one or not. Yes, no. Possibility there or not there. But in JavaScript, that kind of person is not there. Okay, JavaScript, if you pass any data, my variable can hold it, but at runtime it is going to throw an error or not. But if one person is there before runtime, if one person is going to alert you, okay, that would help to us or not to fix this error before runtime only or not. But in JavaScript, it is not happening. But where it is happening, who is going to alert? In my TypeScript, it is going to alert you. How it is going to alert? I will tell. Don't worry about that one. Okay, understood, right? Got my point? Now it is okay or not? Now it is okay or not?
Okay, sir.
Now it is like okay, right? Okay, my data is which type? Object type. Data dot name. What? Data dot name is what? Sachin. Sachin. Sachin is which type? It's like a string type. Okay, Sachin dot length. String dot length. It's like okay, my length property can work with arrays, can work with strings, so that my output is like what? 6 or not? My output is like 6. Understood, everyone? Okay, let me ask one more question. What is my output? Simple. At least who completed JavaScript, these people has to tell. At least one person I'm expecting.
A is not a function.
Right. Okay. A is not a function or not. A is not a function. Not a function. Okay. Simple, right? You're calling A. You're calling A. Are you passing any data? Are you passing any data? Are you passing any data? No, no. What is my A value? If you not pass anything, what is the default value? Undefined.
Undefined.
Okay, whatever you pass, that one only again returned, right? That means you returned what? Undefined only. So my function call always gives me the return value. What is the return value? Undefined. So my value is what? Undefined, right? Okay, whenever my val is like undefined, whenever my val is like undefined. Okay, now tell me this syntax in any programming language. If you see the syntax, this is called, come on, this is like calling
And
what? Calling a function.
Reference.
Calling a function. Okay, you're calling what? I can call a function. Any programming language, this statement is like calling function. So your calling means the val should be what? Function. But here the received value is what? My received value is what? Undefined is a function. Is my undefined is a function? No, right? That's the error you can get it. A is okay. Here, val is not a function. Okay, not a. Okay, a directly you are not using. You are using what? Val, right? Okay, val is not a function. Otherwise, you can get error. Undefined is not a function. You can get an error like what? Undefined is not a function. Understood, everyone? Hmm? Okay, then. The next question. You know about the OOPS concept classes, right? You know about the OOPS concept classes. See, one thing. You may not use directly OOPS concepts in your programming, okay, in your development. You may not use the OOPS concepts directly. But internally, everything is interrelated to OOPS only. If you write one statement, that statement internally, there has one OOPS concept they are going to use. Internally, one OOPS concepts we are going to use. Got my point? You may not use directly, but each and every statement, not only it is not miss single statement also, each and every statement internally using OOPS concepts only. Got my point? Okay, let's take this one only. Okay, you said like my data is like name Sachin. My data dot name, the value is like Sachin. That's okay, fine. This is like simple statement only. What is this data? What is this data? And one more thing. Now I have an array 1, 2, 3. My array dot length. Okay, array dot length. My array dot push of 4. Push of 4. Okay, now what is this array? Here, what is this data? Understood? Come on, can anyone tell me what is this data?
data is an object.
Object, perfect. Data is an object. If it is like an object, objects we are going to create for to whom we are going
Classes.
classes, right? So that my data is an object of one class or not? Yes or no? So this data is an object of one class. You only said, what is that class name? My data is
Object.
one class. Okay, that is an object class only or not? So in JavaScript, there has one predefined class is there. Object is the class. Object is the class. It is an object of which class? Object class. Here also same story. Okay, you created an array. Okay, now array dot length to array dot push, some operations you performed. That is okay. My ARR is what? ARR is what?
Object of array class.
Also object only. It is an object of one class. That is like an array class or not. For every primitive data type, okay, primitive value we can say there has a corresponding classes we have. Okay, tell me in JavaScript different data types. I mean, okay, different values, data formats. Number, we have a corresponding class is there. Number only the class. The next one is like a string. We have the corresponding class is there. String only the class. Okay, the next one. Come on. Boolean. Boolean. Next. Come on. Array class. The next one is like what? Object class. The next one is like what? Function class, like this. Most of the times we are going to use these data formats only or not. Yes or no? Now, if you observe here, number, functions, string, function, Boolean function. Now, I said like this is like a class. Okay, but it is looks like F is a function. So, is it like a class or a function? If it is like a class, okay, how many ways? How that means different. How many types of classes are there in JavaScript? Anyone knows? How many types of classes are there in JavaScript?
Functional classes,
There has, yeah, correct.
class key called classes.
One is like functional, another one is like class keyword classes. That means using function we can create a class. The next one is like what? Using, come on, using class also we can create a class or not. But all the predefined JavaScript classes are functional classes only. This is like ES6 updated one, latest one. But all the predefined classes are like what? Functional classes only. Understood, everyone? So, can you create one simple class? Okay, you can tell. I'm going to write the code. Tell me one simple class can you create? Okay, and then place some members. Just consume those members. That's it. Can anyone tell me the syntax? My class is a
Function,
collection of what? My class is a collection of what my class contains.
data members and methods. Variables are functions.
Variables and methods you can say. Okay, when you can go with the class, very simple. I have a thought. Okay, that is not yet implemented. It's like, okay, which is not physically available. Just I have a plan. Okay, for example, I want to construct one house. Okay, I have a blueprint. Okay, but that is not yet constructed. Okay, I have a thought. That's it. Okay, that thought we can say like a class. When I can use my, okay, hall, my bedrooms and everything. Whenever you have a thought, then that time can I use it? No, right? That is physically not available, right? When I can use that, my bedrooms, my hall, my kitchen, when I can use it? Whenever physically that is available, right? Whenever my thought is implemented, then only we can use it or not. So here the thought I can say like a class, whatever the thought implemented, then the time it is physically available, that physically available one we can say like what? Object or not, simply. Got my point? Okay, thought is your class. You have a thought, there is no use. When you can get something, when you can get some services from, whenever you implemented the thought or not. Whenever the thought is like, okay, physical representation is available, then only we can use it or not. So the physical representation is what? Object. Object is nothing but physically available. Chair, one object. Okay, laptop, one object. Physically available or not. So my thought is a class. You have a class means no use. When you can get the services from the class, whenever, come on, whenever that particular thought related object physically available, then only we can get some services from the class or not. Yes, no? Come on, how we can create a one class in JavaScript, functional class only. Tell me. Okay, why this topic is required means this is required for me in TypeScript. That's the reason I want to tell. So how we can create one simple class in JavaScript? That two functional class only I want. Anyone? Your class name, right? Okay. Function, your class name. For example, my class is like a boss. So that I'm going to write like this. And one more thing, by seeing this one, is it like a function? Is it like a functional class? How we can come to know? My function also like this only, right? My function also like this only or not? Function name, body. So my question is it like a function or is it like a functional class? How we can come to know?
The first letter of the
Yeah,
function of the class name.
all the functional classes starts with capital letter. All the functional classes starts with capital letter. My array function only, but starts with capital letter. So can I say this is like what? A functional class or not? Okay, fetch is there. See, the result is same. FO array fetch native code native code. Now this is like a class or a function. This is like a class or a function. This is like a function. This is like a function. Okay, so that you can differentiate simply. Okay, if it is like starts with capital letter, whose type is like a function, that is like now onwards a functional class, you can say. Functional class, you can say. Okay, now? Okay, then. Now in the bus, I want to tell something about the bus. Okay, I have okay thought. Okay, I want to purchase one bus. Okay, just that bus has 2 front wheels. Okay, 4 back wheels. This bus color is this one. That is my plan. That is my thought. This kind of bus I want to purchase like that. Okay, so tell me. I want to tell something about the bus. That is the thought only. But just I want to put on paper. That's it. Okay, tell me my front wheels, my back wheels, my total wheels, like that. Come on, how we can place one value inside my class by using
This dot
Variables.
variables, right? So how we can create a variable in the functional class where okay, front wheels equals to 2. You can write like this, but whenever it's this bus is like a function, then that time you can use like a where it is acting like a local variable to the function. But this bus is like a function or class. You know that as a developer. At this moment, this bus is like a function or class.
functional class.
Functional class, right? It's a class. So that whenever it is like a class, it should be like a what? Class member, not like a local variable. So if it is like a functional class, how we can create a class member, either variable or a function or a method, how we can means with the current object. So this dot FW is like 2 and this dot BW equals to 4, like this. Okay, now if you want to write okay, this dot get the color, it is like a okay method. You can write like this and return the red color. Done. My bus is ready or not? Whenever you created a class, there is no use of that one. There is no use. Okay, you have a thought. What we can do with that thought? Whenever the thought is like implemented and physically available, then only we can use it or not. So tell me, when I can use this bus, when I can use this bus, my bus is physically available or not? That means my bus object is available or not. So you have to create an object for which class? Which class you have to create an object? My bus class or not? Programming language, you can take it. The hooks concepts, syntax different. Okay, that definitions, okay, way of using and everything is like same. Okay, so obj new bus. Once you have an object, okay, you can access the members of a class. Is nothing but you can access the members of my bus class or not. Done. Got my point? So here my bus is a class which contains what? Variables and methods or not. It's like a collection of variables and methods. If you have a class, there is no use. When you can get the services, if it is like object is physically available, object means okay, physically available, then only I can get, I can see, oh, front wheels 2, I can see back wheels 4, I can see the color, I can confirm like that or not. Yes or no? Got my point? So now my obj dot total wheels, exact error, tell me what is my error? Simple. How did you know that?
Undefined is not a function.
Yes, my obj dot total wheels is not a function. My obj dot total wheels is not a function. See, if you don't know, elaborate one by one. See, obj. My obj is an object which contains what? My object means bus. My bus contains what? Front wheels, back wheels, get color. I am looking for what? Total wheels. Okay, there are not there are? There are not there are? Not there. In the object, one property is not there. What is my default value? Undefined. Again, you are calling what? Undefined calling. Okay, undefined you are using like a function so that you can get like what? You can get like what? You can get like obj dot total wheels is not a function, but I want the output is like 6. Can you fill this gap? To get the output is like 6. Can you fill this gap? What do you want me to do? So after you fill that gap, if I call like total wheels, my output should be 6. That is my expectation.
Bus dot prototype dot
Bus dot,
prototype
yes, bus dot prototype
dot total wheels
dot total wheels is equals to,
function of return.
yes, function of something. So you said like prototype. Now, can you tell something about the prototype? Why we go for prototype?
To inherit our parent class members into our child class.
It is a kind of inheritance, right? Okay, I have a class is there. Okay, own members, 3 members we have. Own members are like 3. Okay, but those 3 not required. I want one more member from outside into my class or not. Okay, how we can get the members from outside into my class? How we can get the members from outside into my class? Through one of the OOPS concept is like what? Inheritance or not. Okay, through inheritance I can get it. So if it is like a functional class, how we can implement the inheritance? Very simple. There has one of the properties there. Prototype is the property. First, in which class you want me to inherit the members? In which class you want me to inherit the members? First of all, find the class. Which class you want me to inherit the members? Come on, bus class. Bus is which type of class? Functional or class? Which type of class? Functional or class? Functional class. If it is like a functional class, we have one property is there, prototype, right? Prototype is the one. I have one property is like prototype or not. I have one property is there, prototype. So I want to inherit one member. Okay, which member you want me to inherit? Which member is not there? Which member is not there? Total wheels, not there. The total wheels is like which type? Based on the usage, tell me. Based on the usage, my total wheels is like which type?
Function.
Like a function, right? So that it should be like a function or not. It should be like a function. In this particular function, what is your expectation? Your business logic is what? I want to find the sum of front wheels and back wheels or not. That is my business logic. So this is the way one property we can inject into my class or not. This is the way one property we can inject into my class or not, by using which prototype is the property. Got my point? So let me take this one. This is my own class. Okay, now I create an object for bus class. Now my obj is what? My obj is not like a normal JSON. It is what? Come on, it is what? Obj is what?
Object of bus.
Object of bus class or not. Okay, na? Done. Now I'm going to write something else. Say this. Obj I created, and now I added one predefined member. What is that? What is that? Local storage. Now local storage is what? You said obj is an object of bus class. You said. Okay, obj created by me, bus also created by me. Here local storage not created by me. Okay, that's a predefined. My local storage is an object of which class?
Storage.
Storage class or not? Yes or no? Storage class or not? Yes, perfect. You are right. Now in my bus class, how many members are there? This is my bus, na? How many members are there? Direct members, these many. Okay, inherited members, how many are there? Inherited members, am I inherited anything? No, na? Can we inherit one member? How we can inherit? My bus dot, come on. My bus dot first. Let
Total
me show
weight.
you the table. OBJ dot total wheels. Error, you can get it. It's not a function. My bus dot prototype dot total wheels is equals to, it is like function. I'm using like a function console dot log of this dot front wheels plus this dot back wheels. Okay, na? Yes, done. Now if I execute the same statement, you can get the output is like 6 or not. Okay, na? So this is my bus. My bus has a inherited property also there. How we can see the inherited members of a class? How we can see the inherited members of a bus class?
Dot prototype.
Very simple. Dot prototype, retrieving the data from the object. Now see, there is a total wheels, one inherited member or not. Now my local storage is an object of which class? Local storage is an object of which class?
Storage.
Storage class. Okay, my storage class has how many members? Own members. I don't have. I didn't find any own members. If the class is not having the own members, there may be a chance of what? Inherited members or not. If own also not there, inherit also not there, what is the use of that one? Own also not there, inherit also not there, what is the use of that class? If own not there, inherited should be there. So how we can see the inherited members of a class? How
Storage
we can see the
prototype.
inherited members of a class? Prototype. Okay, now see this. These many members are there in which class? Storage class or not? My storage class members we can access with what? Storage class object or not? Okay, where is my storage class object? My local storage is the storage class object. I have an object. Okay, I know the members of a class. Okay, can we consume it? Okay, how we can consume it? My local storage dot local storage dot get
Get
item, local storage dot set item, local storage dot remove item, like this or not? See, internal thing is this one only or not? Come on. Okay, next, any other classes you know? Tell me. We'll see that. Do you know any other classes? Tell me some predefined classes. Predefined class. Okay, what is the type of this? What is this?
Functional class.
It's a functional class. It's a functional class. What is this? What is this one?
Object of cookie store.
Cookie store is an object of cookie store class or not? Okay, here both they provided. See, class also given by whom? Class given by whom? JavaScript people. Object also given by whom? JavaScript people only. So if you have a class, can I create an object? Will it allow or not allow? Can anyone? Will it allow or not allow? One rare case this
Not
is.
allow.
Not allow. Why? Why not allow?
Already created.
The object already given. Cookie store is an object already given. Okay, this is an object of which class? Cookie store class. Okay, if I given the object, you can use that object. Why you try to create an object again so that it gives an error like this or not? Failure to construct cookie store. It's like illegal construct object, something like that. Yes, or no? Okay, the next one. We have XML HTTP request. Frequently, we are going to use this one to send a request, get the response. Now tell me, XML HTTP request is which type? Which type?
Functional class.
It is like a functional class. Whenever it is allow you to create an object means that object is not given by the JavaScript people. If it is not allowed, object given by whom? JavaScript people or not? Allowed or not allowed? Allowed or not allowed in this case?
Allowed.
Allowed. Allowed means what? They give a chance to create an object from your end. They given chance to create an object for XML HTTP request from your end or not. Okay, now once you have an object, we can call the members of a class. How many members are there? Come on, how many members are there? Own members not there. But if the own members not there, I can see what? inherited members or not. How we can see the inherited members?
Dot prototype.
Prototype. Now see, these many members are there or not. Got my point? As I said, each and everything interrelated to OOPS only. Everything. Any statement you can take it. Internally, there has one OOPS concept involved in that particular statement. All are okay? Okay, just you can go through in any website, you can take it. Okay. Array methods important for us. Object is important. Exception handling is important. The next one is like OOPS concepts are important from JavaScript side. Okay. Browser storages are important. Okay. Frequently we are going to use in our application development. These are main concept. Okay. Just you can go through that one. Tomorrow onwards, we are going to start like TypeScript. Okay, na? Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? Not hear your voice. Sayal. Anyone have any questions? No? Okay then. Tomorrow we'll see the TypeScript 1-2 sessions. After that, we can, as usual, our Angular sessions we are going to start. Okay then. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Thank you.